So today we're going to be talking about a psychic who should be on the leaderboard for dying. Specifically, Amie Balesky, who is a psychic medium. Her accolades are that she's an influencer as well as a 4-time near-death experience recipient. If Final Destination had a DLC, she would be the final boss. What makes Amie so special, you might be asking? Well, first of all, she charges $390 for 30-minute consultations as well as $750 for an hour. For that money, I personally don't want to talk to dead relatives. I want a personal hand job from Casper. She also mentions that she's had 4 near-death experiences. I feel like if near-death experiences were punch cards, she would be receiving a free sub in the afterlife. Now that is one of her big selling points. Because of these near-death experiences, she somehow has gotten the powers to be able to talk to the dead. She mentions firstly it happened as a child, having them remove a kidney tumor, and so on in the context of various surgeries. Now I could tell you as a person who's had a near-death experience by being slammed through a glass table for a project, it's not as exciting as people make it out to be. They put me on ketamine and I was screaming slurs at every nurse. Now Amie, she mentions that she managed to float her ethereal spirit above her body and see herself lying down at a table. Now I don't want to get into too deep when it comes to near-death experiences. However, it's your body trying to protect itself. Your body is releasing serotonin, dopamine, all these things that are designed to protect you from what's inevitably coming, which is death. The light at the end of the tunnel is just biology. It's not a backstage pass to heaven. She's one of these people that believe that somehow psychics could actually help with criminal investigations. For example, here's a video of her using a spirit box, a common psychic tool, in order to communicate with the recently deceased Gabby Petito.
Gabby, what do you want to say to your mom? You love her, I know, but what do you want to say on here? She'll see this.
Serenity.
Serenity. I will be channeling Gabby Petito in just a few hours. A life that was lost by somebody else's hand. I want y'all to know that she's still around. She is in heaven. She did make it to the light. But I also want to show you that she can still come and interact with not only her family, but with everybody, as spirits do all the time, and as you will do one day as well. I hope this proves to you that you exist after death, and that death is just an illusion. I have my ghost hunting equipment behind me. So have a little motion sensor lights down on the bottom as well. The last thing while we focus is I'm going to have my spirit box on. Just like that. And I will show you what I get. So I'm going to go ahead and focus. Gabby, I know you're here. I'm going to be talking to your mom today. Gabby, tomorrow's your birthday. Gabby, I want to see how strong you are. Gabby, you're giving me a headache. Oh, it says try. Why are you giving me a headache?
To see your fight.
She's talking about her head hurting and it just fight and it just said gone.
Serenity.
I have a whole video mentioning as to psychics thinking that they could somehow communicate with Petito. And this bitch happened to be one of them. Now, a spirit box is essentially a magic 8-ball, but drunk. It's this little box, you might have seen it on shows like Ghost Adventure, where it cycles through all these radio frequencies and it finds specific words. Of course, she uses these words to somehow correlate a communication with the deceased. However, it's no more accurate than that guy in the bar that's too chummy with the bartenders.
Hey, Ashley! I know what car is your car.
Like any other good TikTok psychic, she talks almost exclusively in jargon, which is one thing that I absolutely detest when they say, for example, oh, I see the souls, like Matt Frazier does.
Like the number one regret that I hear from the souls.
She likes to talk about vibration and we're in middle vibration. It's all bullshit.
In this day and age with like what's going on and what's on the media and like all just like the constant shit, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to lower your vibration. Why? Because the lowest vibration is fear. Fear equals control.
And the best part is that she charges for these experiences. As a matter of fact, here I'm attempting to sign up for one of her readings. And this reading is specific to talking to somebody that has passed on. And you could see that in the actual questionnaire itself, where it asks you for your name and all that other fun information, it asks you for a picture of the individual as well as their name. That's what you're supposed to tell me, Amie. Allegedly. Now, funnily enough, there's a mentalist called Dustin Dean that sort of specializes in this thing where he debunks psychics. He actually had a conversation with Amie and challenged her. Now, I think Dustin Dean is very talented at what he does. However, I don't like the he/him on his profile thing. Now, in the context of their conversation, she had asked him for his birth date so she could provide an astrological reading. Of course, Dean denied this, of which she replied, "There's a lot of Taurus in you. You also have a Cancer underneath it all, and you're partially a Gemini as well."
Thingy. When's your birthday?
I don't know if I should tell you that.
I'm not gonna look anything up. When's your birthday? Literally, I'm going to see what your rising sign and your moon is. Leave me alone.
I don't know.
Mine's November 1988.
I don't think I want to give that information.
Okay, well then don't give it. Anyways, there's a lot of Taurus in you. You also have Cancer underneath it all, and then you're partly a Gemini as well. So yeah.
Those were all wrong.
Of course, Dean replied, "You're wrong." And this is the classic technique of shotgunning, where you try to extend your hits by putting out as much information as possible and seeing what sticks to the wall. In this case, hearing her talk makes me want to paint the wall with my brain matter. They never agree to outright testing of their methods, which is just another red flag. And the part that bothers me about this whole thing is, again, the people that follow her. The people that take her word as gospel. The ones that leave comments saying, "Oh man, this is great. It proves that there's something beyond." When really all she's doing is doing the traditional MO of a standard psychic, which is charging an absurd amount of money for readings and giving people false hope, giving them false memories. When you lose a family member, a friend, a loved one, it's an arduous ordeal. And you have some bitch come in with a bunch of filters on her face, make up the shit, telling you that somehow she could be the medium between you and this person that's passed on. And people pay $750 an hour for the privilege to have this happen. You know what's a privilege? The PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,700 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, even mentalism, where you could learn the very same techniques that these psychics do poorly in order to have their careers. You could check it out. The link is in the description section below. But Amie's case is a masterclass for how to make up a TikTok/social media psychic. 4 near-death experiences, vibrations, the works. So the next time that somebody tells you that they're talking to their dead relative via Zoom, remember that skepticism costs way less than $390 for every half hour. What do you guys think? What is your take on this whole subject matter? Please leave a comment down below so YouTube thinks this channel is doing better than it actually does. But more importantly, I want you guys to remember that you should always be aware of your car's current oil level.